So, in UPL, week 1 has concluded. Here are the standings for y'all. There's not actual standings here, but you can see who won. The Vivillon's currently in first place after winning 7-3 versus the
Yep.
Ninetales. And then the Absols in sole possession of second place after beating the Plume 6-4. Got 2 ties. And then we have the Plumes down at 7th and the Foxes at 8th. I got the Doctor of the BJ here today with me, and I got Pokeslice here too. I'm
Yeah.
gonna carry this convo because I'm sick as hell, and I could barely get my voice high enough to talk right now. But let's get it.
Yeah, I'm also sick.
Agreed.
So we're gonna
Look,
have to roll out of a
you've
doctor to
got
make
no
us feel better.
excuse. Anyhow, we got a list of topics we want to talk about. First, just wanted to give it a little overview of this week. What are your general thoughts after week 1? How y'all feeling?
It's just
You
special
wanna
wall
start?
breakers are kind of insane, TBH. Because we had Specs Scoville, and there was also the Specs PZ in a couple games, like the Chemius, I think, versus Sukun.
Phantom brought it too.
The
Yeah.
Phantom Mystics, I
And then
remember,
there's-
had one. I used this team.
Yeah, and then there was also the Specs Sylveon. I brought that. Fish brought that versus. Oh, who did Fish play? I forget. But yeah,
We use Snow, I think.
Specs
Yeah.
stuff. Throw specs on something, and you're probably gonna win.
There was a Dragalge, I think, too. Someone brought Specs Dragalge this week.
Rob, maybe?
Yeah, I think it focused something for like
Yes.
34, resisted, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, it was a DNC.
Right, this is
I
the
just
game
watched the
Mary
replay a
liked a
second ago.
lot.
That's why. Like, I promise I don't know anything about the game besides that. I took the third turn.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree with that. I think that everybody's talking about like Slowbro and Slowbro balance cores and things like that. And the main things that we've seen have been, a lack of real special walls, and Chandelier, Sylveon, Scoville, and the list kind of goes on and on, really just like dominate.
Yep.
Magnezone. And like switching into them feels impossible. Like I don't know if you could really bring a team right now without like a real special breaker. Like I just think you're asking to lose,
I think a lot of our
Yeah.
special walls, too, are really AV reliant, which kind of helps. Like, you're thinking about, like, AV Zone, AV Reuniclus, even sometimes AV Alolamuk, even though I think we'd all agree that's not the standard set.
Ladder.
Look, Phantom Mystics made a sample set with it, or not a sample set, a sample team submission with it, so he gets a mention. But yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
our
but
special walls are
had
kind of
biggest
easy
there.
to beat down because they're either reliant on non-lefties for an item or they're reliant on lefties entirely for sustain, it seems like. So when you have these generationally powerful wall breakers like Analytic Zone or Specs Adaptability Dragalge, it's really easy to find progress in these games with them.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of
Yeah,
people
and some of
rely
our
on
better
immunities, right?
What'd you say?
Yeah, and some of our better wall breakers have been just phased out. Like we used to have Gudra, Chansey, Blissey, all that, and then Milotic and Vaporeon are kind of just down. So we just don't really have anything with high usage right now. It's actually.
I mean, we also
we've
just straight up
seen-
lost Blissey and Chansey, so they're not even available for us.
We've seen some stuff though pop into play, to fill that void. I mean, Belly Bolt and Forgis, I know, saw a resurgence over the last week. Did anybody bring Belly Bolt this week or no?
No.
In UPL?
I think it's just
No
BLT
Belly
for
Bolt?
Danny.
Belly Bolt's
Danny.
a great pick right now. It really is. I mean, Belly, like, look at the stats. What is it, like 109 HP, like 83 SPDF, and with slack off, like you're walling, half the special breakers in the tier, if not more.
Yeah.
I want to see more of that rather than a Alolan Muck. Like I don't really like Alolan Muck right now. It's a bit weird. It's a bit awkward.
I think Alolan Muck's incredible right now. Mostly in the context of the Slowbro stuff, though, which I guess we could kind of start transitioning over to the point of Slowbro since we've alluded to it with the special wall breakers and their prevalence. What I really like about Alolan Muck in that sequence is how good it is at forcing Bro to Terra, because you really don't want to eat the poison ever. You start getting two-shot by a lot of stuff that you'd rather not be. And once Bro Terras, you've got a larger list of Pokemon that are able to threaten it a little more consistently. Bro loses a lot of mons that it'd normally switch into pretty well, because you've got things like Crook and Flygon now that are super, super easily two-shotting it just by spamming their Quake. And of course, the value in the mirror matchup goes down the fucking shitter once you tear it into a poison type. So I've still vibed with Muck.
I think my issue with Muck is that I don't really find it to be like quite a good, Slowbro check. But I mean, like going back to Slowbro, I know like Phantom posted a list of stuff and we were talking about, special breakers and things that can beat it. But I really just dislike the the fact that like it feels like a lot of these checks just can't really, actually beat it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Muck, if it switches into a Scald and it gets burnt, like yeah, you can rest talk off, like you can still like, throw off knocks and poisons and things like that. But in like the long run, like that slow bro is beating you every game, especially in a 1v1. And I mean obviously games are more nuanced and teams are more nuanced than that. But the hard part about slow bro is that even with a mon like Muck, which on paper should, dominate it, you really struggle to do anything because it just regens out and it just scalds and it can go down to one and it's going to come back at at full health like a few turns later. So I dislike Slowbro right now in the meta, and I dislike Muck because I don't think Muck is a good Slowbro check because of it. You know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying about the 1v1ing potential being really bad. I just don't think that's really the point with Muck as the check. I think you're really just using it to force the Terra and at least exploiting Rest Talk because that's the set I like more, so I'm going to reference it. If the
Yeah,
better
I
one,
agree with you.
I think
Mhm.
the value of being a Scald Absorber, thanks to Rest, is just really high. And once you force Bro to Terra, like I said, it just
Mhm.
I think it flips enough matchups against Bro to where it feels easier to deal with. I think Mary said something kind of useful though as well, which kind of does go, in favor of banning slow Bro, where you do kind of need to have a check pre and post Terra for it. Like you want to have
Yeah.
something like Zone, for example, that super easily pressures it if it won't terastalize. And then afterwards, you want something maybe like Rhyperior, which no matter what your set is at that point, you've got that strong Earthquake. You're most of the time faster. Most of the time. And then you
You
have
never know
Earthquake to
nowadays.
Shimon it. But it can't.
Yeah,
I think it's at least nice that building is easy enough in the sense that you can pretty much always get those two conditions satisfied on the same team without even needing to think about it. But it's still something to take into account. What are your thoughts, Doc?
Oh yeah, the other thing about Muck as being a good slowbro check is it's a great progress maker, like Poison Touch plus Knock plus everything else, like Poison Fang, P-Jab, whatever you want to run. Really good at making progress. It's not fat, and it's also immune to Psychic Noise. For
Mm-hmm.
example, if you want to use some random Covert Cloak Grass type or whatever to force out slowbro,
Haze
it can
Vaporeon.
still just Psychic Noise and then beat you long term. Yeah, Vaporeon too, yeah.
Covert Cloak does deny psychic noise. I want to make sure that's on the record. It blocks the heal block effect,
Mm-hmm.
which
Crazy.
is a
That
little
that
bit
move is like
interesting for Serena as potential counterplay if you wanted to run Cloak on even if it's an offensive Serena. You can kind of get away with it and
Yeah.
still have synthesis.
yeah, I've wanted to mess more with Cloak. I feel like Cloak is it's a really good item right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I
I think
agree.
it's really fun.
Psychic Noise is way too broken of a move. Like I don't know who came up with that one. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Someone that needs to be thrown in a cell and have the key tossed. Yeah, I
Oh
mean, if
boy.
you look at a lot of the wall breakers, I think people are respecting right now. You kind of see the pattern is they're all special because you have physical breakers have to pass the slow bro test, and it's kind of tough. So we look through in use builder, you got like Shandy, that's really good because it beats
Mhm.
bro. Spectrogalgy beats bro. Glade, physical but beats bro because you two shot it with like Leaf
True.
Blade or even knock potentially. What else we
Yeah, I
got
was about to ask you, like, are there
y-
other physical breakers right now that can actually beat Bro?
yes,
Gator?
and
People need to catch on to it. Like
Gator
EDSP
can,
Gator,
Lucario kind of
sort
can,
of.
but it has to be Mash.
Mash or Crunch?
I that's the
Crunch.
problem. I feel like you have to be both, right?
Do you have to be why would it, oh, because
Because
I
you
mean
need
maybe because
pre
it
and
tears.
post.
um,
Banded Crook technically can break bro as well.
yeah, but Bandit Crook
Yeah.
is really good, by the way. That
Yeah.
knockoff is really free.
Offensive
Um,
Any
Rhyperior
quick
is another offensive physical guy that can.
I've been wanting to
Yeah.
mess more with SD Shao. SD Terra Dark can probably do it.
Ooh. Okay.
What else? Yeah, but like you're right though. But all of those, what's really interesting to point out about all those breakers, they all need to set up. They all need a turn to do it,
Mm-hmm.
which is possible when bros are switching. But like, what's really nice about the special breakers is that they feel like they break automatically right now, right? But the physical breakers with bro and the tier, they need the turn or two to set up. Like they need to get going. And if you don't give them that turn, they're not really, as threatening as something like a Chandelier can be,
Yeah. And they also avoid the flame body, effect spore, static, all that stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
They aren't getting in the same way.
I know we
Like
got
it's
some.
hard to click U-turn against those Talon teams. It really
Yeah.
is, especially when it's paired with Bro. Or just Talon with Bro is so dirty because Talon's so fast and it can just wisp anything and then immediately Bro beats it.
It's
You don't
like
even
Talon
have to
the
bro.
glance.
best defensive core, even if there's a little redundancy, because Talon knows bro is drawing that U-turn out from those shallows all the time, so it's just always lurking in the back. It's like, do you
It's
really want
always
to
there.
pivot on that slow bro switch, or do you want to try and stone edge me?
Oh man. I'm glad that Talon is back in the tier. And we have Talon plus water type being broken again.
We do, we do. And don't worry, once slow bro's gone, we just use Tentacruel instead, and it's the same thing, guys.
Nah, I'm not using
Or
Tentacle.
Vaporeon
I'm
again.
using Gastrodon. I'm
Yeah.
going back to my roots,
Yeah.
man.
Bro really wants to play SSNU this badly.
I'm telling you, SSNU, whatever. The less we talk about SSNU, the better. Until we maybe watch a replay or two. Um, SSNU is it's interesting. It's a good tier though. I like it. It
Yeah.
gets too much hate.
On the topic though of all those physical breakers you need to set up, I mean, yeah, it's true. You look at Gator, you have to try and DD, you need to be Lumberry, and then you
Hmm.
have to still play the Terra mind game stuff with your crunches.
Yeah. Um,
Incineroar probably also wants to SD up versus Bro before
it
hitting it.
needs to. I mean, just think about it. We keep talking
Mm-hmm.
about like regen. Like if it's a Scald does what 50, 60? I don't remember the calc.
Probably
I can do it right
60 if
now.
I had to
That's if
guess.
you're
Um,
offensive or max HP,
let me
yeah.
do offensive. Oh, there's no. We don't have a, calc set yet.
Don't worry,
Hmm.
it'll happen soon.
Hmm.
Anyhow,
Um.
there's
Hmm.
also Lycanroc Dusk where I love it because it does beat Bro at +2, but it's contingent on Bro not being able to Terra, because no
Mhm.
one is running Psychic Fangs like in Rock Dusk to cover the Terra Poison Bro. I'm sorry, that's just not real. SD Shao, you have to SD. Um, Rhyperior
Yeah.
technically doesn't have to boost, so that's a cool one.
Rhyperior.
Titan
Yeah.
has to boost. Dreadnought has to boost. If you want to go down to PVL
Who
still.
else? Cloister has to boost and Terra.
Yeah. Although
Yeah.
Cloister
Um.
doesn't necessarily have to Terra. If Bro's already Terra'd, you can just boost and then Spear. It doesn't one shot with all five, but it does like 70 or something.
You're not gonna KO it though. You're not gonna get near KO.
You can. You just
Really?
need
Even if it's Terra into a poison or
just get your hazards, man.
non-water type?
Just
No
get your
way.
hazards. All the bros are getting knocked at some point anyway. Not like
That's
you care
true. That's
about a
true.
boot.
Um,
Bro's
what else?
doing a ton of boost.
Have you guys messed with what's it called? Like a mixed like Infernape maybe with like Grass Knot? Could be interesting.
No.
I don't know. I feel like there's a lot
Could.
of potential to mess around a burrow, but
Mm-hmm.
it's really tough.
I think I think Nape would also be an extremely good knocker right now because it lures in Bro and Talon. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
you could also edge
But the
for
question
Talon,
is why?
but
Why would you use it over Miansha?
faster. I mean, that's
Yeah,
really, I
I don't
think,
I
just
don't
know.
it.
know.
It's
That's probably
faster.
about it, right? I don't think there's really much else.
This is for post Shao
You're way
match.
weaker though.
On both.
Oh, shall we're already planning. It's
God.
funny. Got to
I,
get rid of
Yes.
Blobe for.
Still having flashbacks to the RU users that were like, oh god, Infernape should just so obviously be still in RU. And I'm like, this mon is barely
Not
clinging
good.
on to usefulness in our tier. I'm not
Yes.
sure. Oh,
What was
someone's
that?
mic just had a fun time there.
No. Yeah, no. I don't think. I think it drops. Like I don't see it sticking around.
I don't think it drops. I
No.
think Infernape's gonna stay in you because people will keep using it because it's Infernape.
Starter Pokemon. Ladder.
Yeah.
Speaking of RU, PU, and dropping stuff like that. looking at the tier right now from you've seen this week in NUPL, what do you think is really underrated in PU or even below? But I doubt, we're going to get much lower than that, that you
Ooh.
think should see more use.
Let me see if I can
Because there's
actually
a lot.
find any.
There's a lot down there. The half the tier I
I'll
feel is
give a
viable.
milquetoast take on this just to not divulge my true secrets and inner demons. Rotom Mo, I think, deserves more use. I actually vibe with Mo a
A
decent
lot,
amount
by the way,
right
a lot
now.
of people aren't really using what's called Voltammunes right now, which is
Mm-hmm.
weird.
I'm seeing a
And
lot of. Well, the problem too is with Crook being a little more common at this point than Flygon, or a good bit more common, and Rhyperior also
mhm,
being really common. Mo is so happy because wow, look at that! The ground types get super smoked by Leaf Storm now,
yeah,
and also with like Plot Pain Split, you don't beat Bro 1v1 if they Terra, but
you
you
for
do
sure beat
bother
Bro.
it a good amount, and you can
You don't
pivot
beat Bro
around
1v1, you
Magnezone
don't beat
pretty
Bro.
effectively.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at like I agree with you. I mean, I'm SS coded, but
Yeah.
Rotomo right now, like just into the tier that stab combination, it's kind of really difficult to switch into.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with like you just volt around. I mean, just look at the tier. We don't really have, maybe we got to bring back Stunfisk, but like we don't really have much that can really switch into the combination of Volt Switch and Leaf Storm,
There's a
or
couple
wants to.
others in PU2 that I think
There's a
we've
lot.
seen like this week. Wo Qian is
Yeah.
probably the long
Oh, I was about
term
to say
guy
Roach.
to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
There's
we were just talking about, the lack of a special wall.
Mm.
I'm like, Wo Chen just does that. It just walls everything.
mhm.
What else?
Yeah, there's a couple other too, like Toxtricity. That's super
Yes.
hard.
Spit.
We almost suspected that a while ago or whatever. I'm pretty sure with
Where in
E-Turn.
NU?
Yeah.
E-Turn hates Boomer's Tox, bro. E-Turn hates that. And the other one was Inteleon. We saw it in GXE Danny, but that thing's still fast, and
I'm
you
Mm-hmm.
can
not a
just run
fan of
Dark for
Inteleon
slow,
though.
bro. No,
Maybe
I'm not a
actually right
fan
now.
of it per se, but I think
I just
for
think that
underrated
also,
stuff.
yeah, I think that also the second though that what's it called? That like Slowbro kind of leaves and we experiment with more water types, like it's gonna fall off. But I think right now, like we don't have special walls. Like the theme of like everything we've talked about so far. You know what else is really underrated?
Melodic?
Aloe
Um,
Slash?
I was gonna say Meloetta
Oh,
and
I was
Belly Bolt.
close. Just one Pokemon away. Not bad.
um, sorry, I'm a bit sick. My voice is not there, but yeah, no, Meloetta, like just stat wise, another one of those special breaker types that can switch into slow row really easily
Mm-hmm.
and has a ton of options. I think who brought it this week,
Oh,
or
that is
maybe
a good
we
question.
were messing with it at one point, or Danny brought it in BLT or something. But that mon's really good. I like
Mm.
it. I need to build with it more.
Bit of a weird take here for me to say, or a weird mention, I think, without the context. We've seen Palmot a little bit this week.
Do you want to pull up that
That
game
one
and
team.
transition into the replays
Yeah, well,
off
we
the
can talk
Palma?
about Sun now, just as a
That's
general
true.
thing.
Oh, yes. We have a
Oh,
Zumon on Sun that's pretty nasty right now. I want to talk about it.
I think we
Yes,
should
the
ban it.
villain.
We should just ban Scovillain.
I
Leave
thought I had
everything
this
else.
somewhere else. Okay, no. So yeah, we've got Sun rising up to the attention of basically everyone in the tier as a potentially problematic force. I don't think this shocks any lower tier player because historically, any type of auto weather outside of, frankly, snow slash hail has always been very contentious. Even sand, I mean, we literally banned the scientist Gigalith in Gen
I mean,
7.
even hail. What are you talking about?
True, even hail last gen.
We've banned like Sand
Aloe
Slash
Slash.
Alola.
We banned Alolan Sand Shrew.
Oh,
Let them
Sandshrew,
know.
not Sand.
So, as you can see, anytime, and Sun's generally viewed as probably the second best of the weathers overall. This gen, maybe even the best, I want to say. Best or second best? I don't know if people would say Rain
No,
peaked higher than
Rain
Sun.
is better. Rain is better for sure. I
I'm
mean, just
I'm
think about it.
honestly
You
thinking of
got
like
Wave Crash
OU
drop as a
perspective,
move, right?
even for like comp
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
whole. I don't know if like Archaludon Rain is viewed more highly than Peak Paradox Spam Sun.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I forgot about that paradox
Yeah.
stuff.
But regardless, yeah,
Like
we've
that.
got Scovillain, Palmot, even Lilligant all getting a little bit of usage right now in NU because of Sun. So how are y'all feeling about Sun? Do you think this is something we should actually be keeping an eye on? Do you think it's just a week one fad? Let's start off with the doc. Get some thoughts in, fam.
I don't know, because we've had different metas with Gudra, Flashfire, Shandy, Armor Rouge. There's been different, fire, sun answers. Prio was also really good for a brief amount of time before the power level kind of crept up defensively with it. I would keep an eye on it. I think the villain might be broken now that we're actually able to run specs pretty freely without
Mm-hmm.
too much of a drawback. I think in other metas, there was definitely more resistance to it. So I would definitely keep an eye out on the villain at the bare minimum, let alone Sun. Sun might be broken. I don't know, though. It's too early to tell.
I think the most interesting part about the Sun debate is that there's no agreement on what the problematic aspect is. I think we have a lot of people saying a drought ban is fine, a Venusaur ban is fine, but I mean, as Mr. Doctor here says, even Scovillain is getting attention because it's
So
ridiculously
wins
powerful.
every game it's in, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forget
Can I tell
which
you
of
the
the
truth
Sun
about
games
that?
it was. Oh wait, never mind. It was the
What happened?
Brizai game. Let me
Oh yeah, yeah.
find
Is
that
it live?
here.
Yeah.
Where it got, was it 5 or 6 kills?
It got a ton. So like I'm
It
just gonna
died, it came back. That
briefly
was a crazy turn, by the way. Speaking
go
of
through
Palmot,
this.
the one time revival blessing came in handy.
Mm-hmm.
So as we go
Can I
through
tell
the
you the truth
replay,
about
you see
Sun?
Scovillain two shot a slow bro, do over half to
Yeah.
a Delphox, get revival blessing back, kill the Delphox. Uh
Just
Sub to
win, man.
Frieza.
yeah, sub
Just
to
kill them
Freezeye.
with
It
win.
kills an Avalok, it kills a Terra Dragon AV zone, and it one shots a Flygon. It got every kill this game except on the
Got every
Scrafty.
kill.
Yeah.
Here's the truth, okay?
Nuts.
I'll tell you right now.
Hit me
The
with it.
reason people are saying ban Venusaur or ban Drought is because nobody wants to admit to themselves that Scovillain is a broken one.
You
That's
might
a
be
And
guilty
onto
pleasure.
something.
watch the Sun games.
That's really what it
We don't have switch into this thing because we were just talking about we don't have like real like solid special walls. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
and number two, honestly, kind of look at the meta. Like we don't really have fire resists that aren't Slowbro and physical.
You got
Um, uh,
Dragalge.
yeah, and Dragalge
Oh my.
deserves more use for sure. But like,
Mm-hmm.
but even the ones that Dragalge takes really well. But like we were looking at Diancie in one of the Sun games get beat by a Scovillain,
Yeah.
right? And like a Venusaur. And like people are talking about banning Venusaur, banning Drought, whatever. The only mon I've actually seen do anything is Scovillain.
Hmm.
But nobody wants to admit that, I don't think. But like I think that's really the problematic threat, which would be really funny to ban. Um, but I don't know, something to keep an eye on. I think it's kind of broken. I don't think it lasts long in the tier in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Hmm.
I think too something worth keeping in mind is, and you alluded to this with the Diancie bit, a lot of the fire resists are just straight up weak to grass, or they're really frail. So you can think of
That's
like
true.
Rhyperior dies, Diancie dies, Lycanroc Dusk, Lamau, Infernape. I'm not counting that. So the few you're left with really, like Chandelure as well, it resists your dual stab, but it's not that bulky, so Solar Beam still does a million.
Curious
So
how
you're
much
left
it
with
does. I'm
stuff
not
like
actually counting.
Dragalge and Incineroar? Really is like your only two, and it has to be bulky Incin. Like
Yeah.
Talonflame probably even under Sun is just easily two shot because it's just
Chandelure
not
is
that
two shot,
bulky.
by the way, 53 to 63 from a solar beam.
Yeah, there you go. So it's really rough. I think the only limiter really to Scovillain is that it's so frail. You do have to play it positionally really, really well and
Mhm.
find those opportunities to come in. But once you get in, you're so fast, you're so strong. You have Revival Blessing probably in the back. Just really easy to get a lot of mileage out of it really quickly. Start leaving a huge impact in the game, taking out like half your opponent's team before they can really figure out a way to respond. And by then, probably just gonna lose to the Venusaur in the back.
There are, I think answers down in the lower tiers that are less explored. Like I think that something like a Terra Dragon Belly Bolt or just a Terra Lochan, beats them. And what I think that you'll see a bunch of stuff, more things pop up. You're gonna see a lot more Protect. It's difficult obviously to switch into that flamethrower in the sun. But if you have something like a Protect Lochan, right? As like your Spadef wall, then it's kind of hard for the Scovillain to do anything. Because even if a Fire Blast, Terra, you knock, and suddenly that thing is basically dead. It's not really touching you, right? Even in the sun, I think. Actually, wait, hold up. I did not calc that properly. before you quote me on this, let me put Wochin in the sun. Okay, you know what? I lied. It's still just 80 to 94.
Hey
My
man,
bad.
lived and then knocked. Now you don't have
And then
specs. GG.
oh shit. Okay, yeah, my bad. I forgot to calc sun. I'm like, great, we found the answer. It's Wochin.
I
But
think
this
too.
is
You still have to consider Terra Blast in the equation too. Like you could just be Terra Blast Fairy, and then a lot of these mons that terrestrialize into dragon types, they're just dead. They're not
Do you
dead, but
think
they
it's
take a
better than
million.
doing? Do you think it's better than Terra Fire? I mean, Terra Fire, Fire Blast, even to a Terra Woach would KO.
I'm gonna be honest.
And
I'm
Flamethrower do
really
it.
defensive Terra pilled with these mons.
Mm.
So,
Oh wait,
but you
yeah,
could
I was
definitely
supposed
do
to
Terra
play
Fire.
Dragon.
You could do Terra Fire and then just only run stab moves, and you're chilling.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Defensive Terra, I agree with you. I think defensive Terra is really, I don't know, broken, underrated. Like I don't know what the right word to describe it is. But like on offensive things, like defensive Terras are much better than offensive Terras to me, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any good? What game did Sun lose?
The stretch game where he
Stress.
Oh,
timered.
Stress.
Yeah.
You want to pull up that game?
Yeah, he kind of has to have it done to him. Where are you? There you are.
Yeah.
All right. So as you all see in this wonderful
And
game,
by the
real
way, this
quick.
looks like a good matchup for is it the Franklin? Is that his opponent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's facing Franklin. So you see, he's got the AV Reuniclus here. He's got Lycanroc as an offensive check. Even Talonflame is kind of an offensive check to Sun. Zone could
Mhm.
technically be a check, depending on Terra type. So there
Yeah,
is
and if
some
it's
hope
AV.
here. But as you see, I mean...
It's not AV with
I
Unis.
think it's
Oh,
specs,
right,
right?
it
Or
wasn't
AV
AV
Reun.
Reuni, it was just regen.
Oh, what?
No,
Not
it was
AV?
AV Reuni. It's
Uh,
not AV Zone, I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Oh,
It would be
right, right,
Spec
right.
Zone AV Reun. So that's like a pretty. If you're gonna beat Sun, it's kind of hard to get better than this, I think. Maybe you
Mm.
can, have like a sturdier team, but you got all the tools for an offense to go ahead and beat it, right?
Yeah. I mean, he did beat it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he did
sort of.
dodge and overheat.
He also, would have lost if not for the timeout.
We get to the timeout yet?
Oh, yeah, I got to the timeout. I just skipped turns.
Good. Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
Sun
man.
is broken because Stresh is using it. Point blank.
Stress lost with it though. It's okay.
He only
Did
We
used
won't
Stresh
a
talk
third
lose
about
of
it.
his
with it?
power.
Or did he just not have enough time?
Wow, that was deep. I don't know. Good question.
What appears
Yeah, he would have
next on
won,
our
right?
list of
For sure.
topics to talk about is balance in this tier, because we've seen a lot of balance this week.
Oh man, every team looks the same, man. That's all.
Yeah. So like,
They're just
can I even
ugly,
open
and like they're
DS?
they're like these weird shades of like pink and brown, and like there's no color, there's no pop, there's nothing interesting. Like none of these games really like I load up like random replays. Like I don't know. I'm not intrigued. I'm not interested in
You're
what's
not
going on,
fine.
We're
I
just all seeing variations of Slowbro, like that, which like I get, like it's a great mod, but like I want to see more variety.
Slowbro or D-Kiss Mew? It's just those two.
No, we only saw one or two. No, TQ Muse.
Yeah, but I'm saying for the structures, we have these random HOs with the end plot
Oh yeah,
D-Kiss Mew. And then we've got Slowbro.
I'm tired of it.
Rabbit. Rabbit, what do you think about the tier right now and
I
the
mean,
build we're looking at?
I think the tier is in a like nice state in terms of there is still enough building diversity, but there's also a very clear standard people can default to, which I believe makes it easy to get into the tier.
Mhm.
Makes it really easy to learn because yeah, you can just load up your slow bro balance and feel pretty safe. But if you want to play HO, it's perfectly viable. You want to play a more generic offense, that still works as well. We've seen Fat be pretty decent as well because the tools in the tier are there for it. There's
Mhm.
not just one defensive core you've got to default to. I mean, we talked about it. Even in PU, there's multiple mons like Wochien, Alolan Sandslash, even Gastrodon, Bellybolt, that all have some sort of place in you that you can try and mess around with as well. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at. I do agree though, it is
What's your take on the
hmm,
Slowbro Calm Mind Wars?
the Slowbro Call Mind Wars. I think
Oh,
the fact that we've gone from acknowledging psychic noise is the best, but now seeing people run Psy Shock just to try to win the non-terra mirror is very funny. And just for like what's it called? Having a picture of balance in the tier. Like I literally just threw my builder, or a team with 5 mons over like Zone, Crook, Bro, Shao, Talon, and then there's like a filler
Mhm.
slot. I feel like this kind of comprises a lot of the teams we saw this week. You just
Yeah.
do like maybe Dragalge last, say that's like a Specs drag. You'll see a lot of builds of this nature right now in NU. You could replace Crook with Rhyperior, and then try to find a dark type elsewhere. Maybe you do like a Alolan Muck here over the Dragalge. Maybe you just decide, screw it, Terra Dark Mian Shao, that's my dark type. It's an option. You could do Serena somewhere on this type of build as well if you're looking for spin support instead of defog on the Talonflame. You could do Noivern here if you want to hate yourself because you're using Noivern. There's a lot of options.
I think something to point out is, going back through the replays. Right now, I'm looking at what's it called? Kimyu. I don't know those players. I'm sorry, which is like Suku, which is a great game by the way. It's worth a watch. I think it like highlights a lot of balance builds right now a little bit. Like I think what I've noticed personally is that the teams that were really successful this week had were like very anti Slowbro and brought like strong special breakers. And like this game, came down to the wire, and I think Suku maybe had a chance where he could have just slacked off a bit more on the Rhyperior and maybe won the game. But like Porygon Z went crazy, and having a Magnezone in the back to deal with Slowbro, like that's the type of team that I think would be really successful right now. And like the ones that weren't were, kind of like the ones we were looking at over on Suku's side, which was like a frailer, Slowbro team without real Slowbro counterplay in the long run.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is and like not really expect, and when I say Slowbro counterplay, I guess what I kind of mean by that, or it's not slow, like anti Slowbro counterplay. Sorry, like look at that team, right? If you have it pulled up, like yeah, you have like the classic Slowbro Muck core, but Muck doesn't really do too well into as like a generic special wall right now, and a lot of special breakers can just kind of keep clicking on it, which we see happen in this game.
Yeah.
Like look, Muck gets one turn just to knock off like one Rhyperior, and that's kind of it, right? And then like Kimyu just like runs through the rest of the team.
Was really easily overwhelmed by PZ, which is another one of those like kind of underrated special breakers that we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
Where yeah, I mean it
Yeah,
doesn't
he
offer
also
you
made
a
a play
lick
against
defensively, but it's fine.
I mean, but Phantom
it's
keeps
gonna
pushing it, so it's tough for me to get into it. But no, PZ's really
Amy
good.
played good. Amy played good that game too. Like he
Yeah,
stayed
he
in with
did.
the PZ on a shot as a click to U-turn to get
Yep.
another
I
kill.
didn't I didn't like
Like
that play though,
I don't
but
think
that
he
but
was
that play
just-
worked out.
I didn't like it either, but it worked out.
Yeah.
Which I can't fault it.
It was a
It's the
very
type of play I
aggro
would
play,
make
but it
too.
worked really well for him.
Yeah.
Especially because no one knew Kimi really, or at least I think he has a
Is this
he
is this
she.
the, is this the Brazilian team?
Yeah, the Brazilian team. March join date. It
Nice.
makes sense though. Just aggressive ladder
But
plays in tour.
Mm.
that
That's
was
pretty
it
much
was
what
it
that
was a
is.
good debut.
It was a great
Good
debut.
good team. Played well. Cannot fault it at all.
You want to talk about some people that didn't play well now?
Shall we pull up the Danny game?
Let's go.
The
Pokeslice.
Danny game is a bridge too far.
Shall
Let's
we pull up
instead
my game? Like
so we got
I clutched up in the end, but I played awfully.
we got some highlights and lowlights of the week. We're gonna start off with the lowlights. Let's start with Keo versus Lilo for all y'all at home.
Oh
So this
yeah.
game is kind of innocuous for most of it, so I'm gonna put its speed on hyper fast. You know, early game is just kind of a matter of positioning on Keo's end. He's just kind of trying not to lose to the Shao, not let it cheese past Smeargle in case it had fake out. He ends up getting his webs and his rocks. Legion consistently was able to also pivot in on CCs, never get goobed by a knock. Eventually, Decidueye comes in, ends up having to just swap due to Noivern threat. Legion gets a couple KOs. Mew comes out, decides it's time to set up, gets a little bit of damage off on this Diancie, then it's Encored. Keo swaps, not wanting to cede the momentum, gets a play wrong with flip turn, but it didn't matter because the Noivern died to the Life Orb. And then Mew comes back out again, and this is where we go to normal speed. So the Mew nasty plots up here. All fine, all fine. Lilo, you know, spins away those hazards, gets some low ice shard chip, even a crit. That's huge. And then turn 23 comes around, so Crocodile comes out here. Now, the astute viewer will know EQ from Scarf Crook will KO Mew from this range if it is just a normal nasty plot Mew, no bulk. Unfortunately, Lilo switches out into Slowbro here, respecting too much the threat of a bulky Mew, and lets that Mew get all the way back to full after Terra Fairying on a predicted knock. Lilo just goes for Quake, that is 100% win chance from there. But no, that is not the game we got. And instead, the Mew ends up winning because it tanks this gunk shot at the end. One shots the Crocodile, and then he even gets all the way back up to full.
So here's my issue with that play. I mean, there's a lot of issues with that play, but if you're gonna predict the Terra, you know, every Mew ever has been Terra Fairy, and you think that your EQ for some reason doesn't KO, then like why would you switch? Like if they Terra Fairy Draining Kick, so that's game, which is what happens, right? Like at the very least, gunk shot,
Let it be
and
known
then
too,
go
it
from
was
there.
literally minimum EQ damage did just enough to KO the Mew, which I think
Oh,
adds a bit of insult
was
to
that really the
injury.
count? I didn't watch it. I mean, I didn't look it up, but like, oh, it sucks, man. I want Leo to have a good tour. I like Lilo a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame he's stuck on the Brazilian army and not with me. But it's like this game was not. Oh, I don't even know what happened. He played well throughout the rest of it,
He did.
but
They played really well.
although I think you always knocked turn one, which would have basically instantly won the game. But whatever. Oh, Lilo. What else was a low light?
Oh, you want to know what else was a low light? I'm so glad you asked. Finch versus Lily, but for a different reason. So, Doc, since we're on Lily's team, how'd you feel after watching this game?
Happy, honestly. I like a good hacks. Like this game was fast.
I'm sure BJ feels
Hey,
the
if
same.
you want
way
to
as
see a
me.
good hacks, there's more where that came from.
Oh
I've
god.
got a game for you.
Oh god, they're not ready for that game. So as you see here, just normal lead stuff. Volt switch there. Aloe doing Aloe things. Natu comes out. Blocks a T-Spike even. It's just pretty nice. And I'm skipping turns
Good
like
play.
this instead of going hyper speed because you know what? You gotta really wait to absorb the terrible bit of this game. Natu comes out. You see immediately too, Natu gets burned by the size off the first Scald and immediately becomes not a Pokemon. This is just not. This isn't gaming.
Awful.
Like what is happening? And a Toxic Miss on there. So okay. It's okay though. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it too much because guess what? Charizard's here. Charizard surely can do some damage on this turn, right? All good. No. Nice Fire Blast into Kangaskhan. Nice miss. It's okay though because we outplay the Sucker Punch. Surely this gets us something here. See, look at that. Look at all that chip. Oh, we died Double Edge. No, that's fine. That's just Pokemon. So Primeape comes out. CC there. Spike goes up. More just dumb black and white nonsense. This tier is miserable. But don't you worry. There's more where that comes from. Oh yeah, immediate immediate burn once again from the size. Trained a little bit too well in the art of this. and then it's over.
This game was like, it was just anticlimactic because of the dodges.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
don't you
this game,
worry.
this had potential to be game of the week based on matchup, but playing black white.
But don't you worry. We now have Viv versus Ariana Grande.
This game was
Oh
this.
yeah,
I was very happy watching this game as you know, as a on the same team as Viv. You know, this was how we started our week.
Doc, I need you to give us
this game
an
reminded
intro to this battle. Sum this up.
Said me
this game reminded
or the
me.
doc? Oh,
I said Doc. Yeah, yeah.
oh, my bad.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. This game reminded me about why I love Pokemon. So let's get right into it.
Let's get right into this. So, as you can see, Sharpedo lead. One of the best leads in DPP. There's nothing wrong with queuing this literally every game. It's kind of broken. I'm kidding.
By the way, this week, especially in DPP, I think Weed Sharp might have had an 100% win rate. Like it won a lot of games. Like it hacks people, like a lot. But I'll find that replay while you show this one.
Oh yeah, we're going through. We're going through. And so far, it's just standard positioning. Because at the end of the day, most Pokemon games are not only hacks. And you can see most of this battle is just early on Viv trying to get his rocks, Haryana getting their rocks. You know, trying to get some damage on the stupid obese Dusclops. I mean, it's a good, happy, big Chungus time. Sacks the Nidoqueen eventually because why bother keeping this useless mon around? And then once again, Chan comes out, double the Shark. Ooh, nice little Toxic dodge. That surely will not come back to matter later. Surely. So now Shark comes in, hits the Sand Slash with the Waterfall of Justice, and as you already know, a flinch, because why not? Oh, but Regice comes out. Oh, it's not even 3 at KO. Surely this Regice can defeat the Sharpedo, right? It even went for rest. Oh, a crit? A crit crunch, and it's Sleep Talk rest? Well, that's not very good. Sure, no, but it's okay, right? Oh, nope, flinch, trying to Sleep Talk. What a shame. Oh, but it woke up here. Surely, nope, flinched again. Ah. Literally the luckiest Sharpedo I think ever seen.
And it was a lead too.
Yeah, and don't worry, the battle gets worse from here. It doesn't get better.
We're just getting started.
No, it somehow gets worse, which is crazy.
I'm gonna skip through all this licky wishing around. I don't really care. I'm gonna skip past this Dusclops too. But there you go, nice little full para. Oh, doesn't matter. I'm rested. I'm gonna get to the fun. I want to see fun. I don't want to see you spam rest. Stop bringing stall.
Yeah, stalling in DPP.
It's
Messed
okay.
up.
It's okay. We're back to Licky versus Sharpedo. Surely Sharpedo will not make another Pokemon's life hell. Surely not. Surely not.
It's crazy how long that Sharpedo lasted for.
Yeah. I mean, Haryana literally forced versus this to spam Wish Tech for a long time, only to get brought down to half health, let in this Drift Blim, and then, oh god, so Credilli comes out as a Calm Mind, saying, Credilli, you know, saw a Rock Slide, surely the Drift Blim does not just, you know, exploit it here, right? Surely not. Oh, what's that? A Toxic dodge. Oh, but don't worry, it lived. Oh, another Toxic dodge. That's 1%.
That was such a perfect stall game too. Perfect load, perfect prep, everything, and just flinch, crit, Toxic dodge 3 times.
Rabia, if you want to see another Sharpedo hacks the guy, go check out Hot Skitty on Waylord Actions game.
Boy,
because that one,
H
so go watch that, and just see what happens with the Sharpedo. That game was just 15 turns, like that. Like the game was over, and just like from turn 1, the Sharpedo just goes crazy too.
Ooh, nice freeze on the Vileplume. Hold on, I need winner's perspective. I'm not a loser. All right, nice Plume gone already. That's okay. Tauros is here though. Surely Tauros can defeat the evil shark. What's that? It's Focus Sash. Oh no. Oh, but okay, Slowking's here. Surely Slowking beats. Okay, Slowking beat it. I was really hoping to see Dark Pulse flinch immediately.
Yeah, so was I. I really thought it was going to.
That would have been euphoric.
Like it takes down 2 mons on its own, and the game's over in like 5 moves. It's crazy. Sharpedo, man, it's a great lead right now. Just a great lead in general.
Wow, this game really was just over immediately. What the hell?
Game was instant. Is
All
that
right,
another cue though?
let's
Yeah.
see. Can we get a highlight matchup? Maybe.
Um.
Should
For
we
week
do
two?
Charm versus
Well,
Charm? I don't know if this counts as a highlight or a low light.
this game was funny.
This game was funny.
Well, this game, I don't know. I don't know if I think my game was really good actually. If you want to pull that one up,
Should we
and I
even
can,
play?
give some context on decisions and things,
All
because
right,
the
you
ending of
did.
my game gets a little crazy.
You played
Um,
the genius, Damien.
so this game's funny because number one, I don't know who brings a fat Vaporeon Escav, type of team into me, because all I do is spam EGA, but whatever. I had the paste actually for this team, and I didn't play this properly off lead, but it's fine because Rabia, you had given it to me at one point. I think NUCL, and I was like, hell no, this team's awful.
Hey man, this
So
team is
like
good.
I knew the whole team basically, but like I don't know why my SCAV is the wrong set. Like this whole game was very scuffed. Like I picked my team 20 minutes before the game, um, but I get outplayed for 90% of the game. Like I think I got every 50-50 wrong, with Vaporeon, Talon, and Escav into my Eggy, like everyone. But like you can just skip through me basically like losing like really badly. And then at the end I lose another 50-50, lose my Eggy. Should just gone Rotom.
The
And then
beginning
like
of
now
this
the game
battle
gets
is
really
also
interesting.
so funny because you get the toxic off on Glassed immediately, just for no reason at all.
I needed to, but because I was the wrong SCAV set. But then if you go to the turn that's really interesting is turn 43 and 44. And that's where like everything switches around.
Just what
Because I don't know if
fudge.
you're at that turn yet, but like I I saw his timer was really, really low. He had like 30 seconds. He was at like 15, I think, by the end of his turn, or so 60, whatever it was. And I was like, shoot, like I'm losing. Like there's no way for me to win right now. Like, how do I cause as much chaos as possible? Like that was my game plan. Because like I knew that, if I volted into Escav and got in Salazzle, and like it would be just a lot of complications here. But if I could, trick and get a leftovers from an Escav, or from a Mudsdale, or boots from a Talon, like that could be game potentially. And I trick off that Talon on the roost, and it's like, and now the game, is kind of won. And now I can just kind of like volt for free and go from there. Um, but yeah, this game like came down to the wire, and I got outplayed for 45 turns.
Don't worry, I'm still watching you get outplayed.
Oh really?
We're at turn 25.
Like Damien played really, really well.
Damien's
And I was
really
like, Damien's a good player. And I got lucky. Like I had matchup and I got outplayed, and it happens. Um, on turn four, I think my trick though, it looks much cooler and more genius than it is, just because like I just don't think it was a good play. Like I don't think the roost was a good play. I think that you go Escav every time there, and you just kind of win the game. But I'm thankful for it. Cannot complain, because now I look like a genius, which is always a good feeling.
Pokeslice.
Yeah, Pokeslice a genius.
Maybe that's the new ladder account you need to use. I saw you drop to 1400 again. Very despicable.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, we don't talk about it. I've been using like really bad random stuff, and just like running around using your really bad hail team.
What do you
Um,
mean, really bad hail? Excuse you?
it's really bad.
That
It's
team
not a
is
good hail team.
godlike.
No, 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 it's not. But
You don't
I
need to
remember
lie
like
to yourself. It's okay.
I
It's
made a
okay,
much better.
Slice.
I keep getting to like 1500, 1550, and then like dropping like 150 points over the next like 3 games.
Look, man, not all of us can be Machamps. Some of us,
True,
you're
true.
Machokes.
Mm,
I didn't
bars.
choke this game though. But you know what? You know what you'll appreciate about this game, Rabia?
What?
It's the first game I've ever played where I didn't hacks the guy and win an SS in a tour game. Just watch. Like there's not one turn. There's no missed toxic. There's no missed leaf storm. There's no missed Icicle Crash or Stone Edge or Drill Run or whatever.
I mean, there was the game you had versus on Arceus a couple of years back where you just draked something turn one and won because of it.
Yeah, that's true. That was my first NUPL game ever too.
Let's watch the
I don't know.
Charm game. I thought this one was really funny because, as you can see from preview, this Tyrantrum bends Faded Charms teams, like, just bends it over.
Destroys it.
And yet this Tyrantrum did nothing. And I was just amazed at
No,
it. I was like, I'm just
it
gonna.
KO'd the Kabu.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Also, parting shot Valley Ground. Get it off my screen, please. Get it out.
No. There's no way there's a parting
SD
shot
parting
Valley
shot,
Ground.
by the way.
No. Please, I don't believe. No, you're right. Oh my god.
Yeah. Also went for Rock Slide instead of multi-attacking the horse. That was funny.
Who passed him this team?
Someone that wanted him to lose. So
Whose
here was
team
a
is
trick
this?
on
Hold up.
Vileplume. This was like genuinely incredible for us. Now we had a Scavalier on the team. It ends up revealed SD, so it always beat the Plume. It's just so nice to have it immediately neutered like this because now you get free Tyrantrum switch-ins on it in certain
Wait,
circumstances. It's pretty cool.
this was an MF Plume team? Oh, bro. Yeah, no, this A1's not winning the chip this year. Not with that. I refuse.
You
I
should
don't
have seen the
actually know who built it, by the way.
Why'd he
on
rock
the
so
team.
What?
Oh, do you know what happened?
What?
Just a screenshot of like a million teams and said, "All right, pick one."
Yeah.
He had no
For
idea what.
this game? Wait, do you have the screenshot?
Wait,
It has
hold
to
up.
be.
Trying to get to where we just kept in the team chat being like, please, just God, switch the stupid Tyrantrum in now. Oh, right, it was on this, it was on turn 32 when the Vileplume strength sapped. I remember Wiley and I both just like, please go T-Trum and go for DD. Because the thing
Only
is,
in SS do you
you
have a
can
game
DD
where
up
Oh,
once
because you
it
have
saps because you outstall. So, it was
yeah,
very
you do that all right
unfortunate.
because he saps. You could have gone right here into T-Trum and won the game.
Yep. There was, there was this turn coming up too. The Guzzlord here on, turn 40, I believe. I think this one he heat crashes. Let me see. Yes, he heat crashes here, and I'm like, oh god, Tyrantrum, please, now. Please, go to it. Surely he goes to it. Nope, he went to Valley Ground. And this is entirely because Team Charm said he saw his Rotom mode died and just assumed it wasn't heat crash that was used.
What? What?
It was incredible. Then this
Oh
Kabu
boy.
sword stances up, and I'm like, oh god, do we lose here? So Valley
Yeah,
Ground
but it's
switches
still.
in, and we get one shot by Adamant Aqua Jet.
But did Aquajet not KO the T-Trum?
Well, he didn't even go for it.
Yeah,
But I think I
I'm gonna
calced it
count
and
that.
we never died. It was like
You're
70
right.
something
T-Trum's
max.
bulky. But why? Okay, this is a weird game.
And we missed this head smash, but it doesn't matter. Because
It
Team
just
Charm
doesn't matter,
decides
but
to
it's
sword
pretty
stance up
funny.
to +8 and then win the game with
Yeah,
Mega
why did
Horn.
Dragon Dance?
I think he DD'd because he wanted to get the kill with the T-Trum, and then he missed.
Does it KO? No. No
I
way.
doubt
It
it.
definitely does, dude.
No.
+1 life orb head smash.
Yeah, that's
This is a
true.
Vileplume.
That big T-Trum, man.
Actually, wait.
Base
Oh my god, does it KO with Life Orb? 102 to 121 with Life Orb Jolly. Wow.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier in the what's it called? In the NU server that I think DDT Trum is the future of NU right now. I mean, I didn't put it that way, but like it destroys Savali ground teams who use that as the ground type.
Yeah, it does.
The only issue with it is you're slower than Rotom Mo, but you can get around that. And actually, you can't.
You
You just
can.
need a scale. You just need a scale shot.
Yeah, you
Like
just do
Terra.
DD scale and you're fine.
Yeah, like so volley ground. If you can get a, let me pull up the calc for you on that. If you can get up a DD, like scale shot, close combat scale shot, 71 to 90, basically 75 to 90. That's a ton of damage.
Got
Oh,
Jeffrey
that's only 3
Radicate
hits, I
versus
think,
Man of
too.
Mini now playing, by the way. Nice little offensive plume from Jeff here.
Wow. Quiz and offensive plume.
Yeah, this game was really cool because the offensive plume from Cusiel and in Man of Many bringing the Life Orb Zatu. I thought it was cool to see from each
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Life Orb Zatu in a tour in the last, year or two. Not that I can remember.
Last time I remember seeing Life Orb Zatu was when Yogi Bears would randomly challenge me to Oras games and he'd have Sucker Punch on it.
What? What is for Miss Magius?
I
Miss
don't
Magius?
know for what, man. It's Sucker Punch from a
Gotta be
Zatu.
Maggie.
It probably does like 5 damage
Miss
to
Magius is
anything.
like B rank as well in this tier, so I might have been for Rotom.
No. Is it? Oh, Rotom.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe Scarf Rotom so you could nab it.
Probably both, to be honest. Yeah, Man of
What do
Many
you
had a really good NUCL too. I think
Mm-hmm.
he had the best 4S record, and then QZ, he's just QZ, traditional great ORAS. Teamed with
Oh,
him
he's,
during
he's been
NU.
dominating for
Great.
years.
Yeah.
The original doctor.
The
The
scientist
actual
is
dog.
Gigalith.
The actual doctor, yeah. I think we've at this point I think shown a game from every tier except for ADV and SM. Is there any game from SM that popped out to you?
No.
Because I know I liked the game Haste Up and Shit Rock Enjoyer. That was a cool game to watch. I bet you're gonna hate it though.
Why would you lead with saying that? Like, you
I
want
just
me to
know you're
bring
gonna
that
hate it.
game up and you say that I'm going to hate it?
Yeah, you're gonna hate that game.
What's the
Yeah, watch the
purpose?
Shit Rock Enjoyer game. You're gonna love it. Hate it.
Oh, I'm gonna love it. Well, first we have to finish watching Cusiel versus Man of Many. So you can see this Hitmonchan mispredicted versus Pyroar. And then it mispredicted Psych. It properly predicted the Vileplume. So that was pretty cool. And you get this
What is
offensive plume, and again, it just beats down the AV, presumably Hitmonchan. Samurott beats down the Zatu. Vileplume continues exerting its will, its supremacy over Man of Many. Even this stupid Malamar Pokemon, not a real beater of the Plume of Doomer. And the Samurott boosts up just to die so that Psychic can pick off that. Pyro gets its KO, and then the Mach Punch. Let me get rid of all these other battles I have open.
Wait,
That's way too many tabs.
that Haste Up game was on main.
that was was it really?
Alright, let's see. What am I going to hate about this?
Dude,
So,
I'm at the
Haunter
last
Lead
turn.
versus
It says
Plusle,
Battle
so it's a
Timer
free
is on.
Psychic.
You know what game you're really gonna hate? Fogbound Lake versus Ima.
Emma.
That game
Okay.
you're actually gonna hate though.
Oh, is that a full BP from Shitrock Enjoyer?
It
Please no.
is.
Oh,
It is.
oh, but it's Psychic Venomoth. That's so funny. Right, Moth, you gonna do anything or you just gonna sub down to your berry? Tell me now. Oh my god, sub down to the berry just to die to quick attack. Get it off my screen. Get it off my screen now. Oh god.
Wait, it gets better.
Oh, and it
does
trapped
get
the
better.
Flareon, but it's full physically defensive, so it lives. Oh, wait, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
no,
That's not why it lived. It's because it's non-choice band Diglett. Never mind.
Rabia, as
Oh god.
a someone who's around when ADV was the main meta,
No?
can you explain what Iron Defense does on like for all this stuff? I have no clue what's happening in these baton pass chains right now.
Iron Defense boosts your defense by 2 stages. What isn't there to
No,
understand?
I meant for like for the tier and for these baton pass chains. Like I have no clue what's going
It's
on.
literally just so you don't die to boom as easily. But also
Fuck.
there are some physical breakers you'd rather have the insurance against as well. So like Chan is probably the best example of something really strong. Even the flyers and normal types. A lot of it too is just you have the luxury of not needing another move there, so you may as well pass the defensive stats and have extra safety. So presumably this guy's last mon is like Octillery. I don't know if it's revealed. It's usually the last on these teams though. And then
Okay.
Octillery just becomes impossible to kill. Or Clampearl if you want to be a psychopath and run that.
Oh, I see. And then it just like Because you're right. I guess Octillery has coverage for the entire tier, right?
Yes, it's got like some of the best coverage in the entire game, basically. I mean, you've got water, fire, and an electric if you go hidden power electric, which is very good. Oh, and then this Ledian ruins the entire chain because it lets itself get slept. Oh my god, this battle is horrible.
It's an awful battle. I knew you would appreciate it.
What even happened here?
Hisa brought a pretty anti-baton pass team, honestly. But like this game felt very like kind of what I liked about it. Oh, why didn't he sub waste Sun turn? Like it felt like everything was on like a nice edge for both players. Like everybody was like, there was aggressive taunts, there were, you know, like aggressive plays made, and like it just felt like everybody had to like be on their game or they were gonna lose. And then Sherrock and Joyer makes one bad play,
Yeah.
but it was a good game.
You know what? We're gonna end this with Ishtar versus Mence for Sun Moon because Ishtar brought a Pyroar, and I think that one's sick. And it
Oh,
conveniently loaded
we want to
up
do
the
did we want
God
to do predict?
matchup as well.
Did we want to do predicts for next week too?
Yeah, we'll do this after I let the Sun and Moon game play through. So, Pyroar led. And literally, it
What
could
do you
be
think
this
of the
HP grass and kill this
what do
if
you
it
think of
wanted.
the what's it called, the Sun and Moon, the SM pool?
The
So
SM
I
pool's
don't know
really
if we've
deep
ever
this
seen like
year.
what's it called, this deep before and competitive. Like
Yeah,
this is a crazy pool. Like
not since it
everybody
was the
can
main gen, I don't think.
probably. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't around during the main gen, obviously, but like
Um,
definitely, since I've shown up in the tier, we haven't really had an NUPL tool, or I don't think a pool in any tour that was as deep as the SM1 right now. It's crazy.
I would argue every player not named LPZ or Ishtar could be ranked as the 1 seed if you wanted to. They all have a
Yeah,
case for being the best player in the pool.
yeah, and it's not like LPZ and Ishtar are slouches. Like
No.
they could beat anybody in the pool too.
I
Like
think
quite
Ishtar is
easily.
the
I think
clear bottom seed. It's just only because I haven't seen her play a lot of SM though, and that's something you can fix by just playing more of the tier.
LPZ
Does
just had a crazy record in UUPL and some old
LPZ is
gen.
great?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, no,
LPZ isn't
LPZ is a great player.
like I'm gonna
Like
find it.
there's
Yeah,
nobody here who's a slouch. At the is kind of the point. Like I think who ends up winning this game? I forget. I'm watching
I
through it now.
think Ishtar won it, but I'm
Right,
only
but
on
that's
turn
like we're
10.
probably like we were just talking like Ishtar is like the bottom seed, but it's like it doesn't matter in this pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's very possible that Ishtar beats everybody, or that Ishtar loses the rest of the rest of the series.
and we see Sigil revealed as a defogging life orb set, which is probably my least favorite because it's such a waste of a Sigilif.
Wait, why is it defog? Oh no.
Because you can flex it on there. I mean, it's just 2 attacks, defog roost. It's okay. Not
I
great,
guess
but if you want the removal, which you probably just aren't a Pyroar with, well, yeah, you can't be boots this gen, so you need to have removal with Pyroar.
yeah. I guess also Siggy just goes ahead and forces switches, right?
Yeah,
Like
generally.
you get them off. All right, I respect it.
Oh yeah, this is Specs Pyroar. It's got overheat. Oh my lord. This Pyroar has
It went off.
actually claimed, I think, 3 KOs so far in this battle.
It goes crazy, man.
Yes, sir.
3 or 4.
Pyroar just comes out at the end and gets the last 2. I think Pyroar got 5 at least this entire game.
Wow, wait, hold on. I have to count through it. Okay, let's start.
What killed the
One,
poo poo volley?
2.
Oh, it was Sigil, right?
Wait, no, that was Sigil. Yeah. 3, 4, 5. Wow. Yeah, 5.
That's impressive.
Pyro's a good pick.
Yeah.
It just destroyed that team.
All right. Let's do some predictions. How do we want to do this? Do we want to go through every match or just look at the teams and say who we think's gonna win? Probably.
Ooh. I don't know. We could talk about highlight games. We could do it, team versus team. Kind of like what you've seen from everybody. I don't know. What do you think is the best way to do
Yeah.
it?
Let's pick one highlight match from each overall matchup and then say roughly how we think it goes down for the
Okay.
at large match.
Or
So New Moon
I'm
Absols versus the Taunting Talonflames. I think Siri LPZ is probably the highlight. Looking at all these,
Yeah. So I
yeah.
just checked LPZ and
Tina's
UUPL,
Aspect.
10-0.
oh my god,
Damn.
That
absolute
just ended
beast.
last week. Yeah,
Wait.
DPPUU legend right there.
Wow. 10-0. And
Get
any
his
tier is
ass into
impressive, especially
DPPNU.
GPP. He was a DPP NU for a while. He's played that tier a lot. We've
Yes.
played together a bunch. Damn, 10-0. Maybe yeah, Ziri LPZ, T-Noon's Acertix, maybe. I think we can do, one
Yeah, both
like one SV highlight, maybe one lower gen highlight.
I think that
for
works.
Because
Yeah.
sure.
I think like a lot of
That
people,
works.
are just really interested or only know what's going on in like SV, but it's like the lower
Mhm.
tiers. Obviously, we have a little knowledge in them.
hmm
I don't know. Who do you think's gonna win this one? I kind of just gotta like calculate it in my head and like think it through.
For which one, SV or SM?
No, for just like the series,
Oh, the
Absols and
series?
T-Flame.
Probably the
Yeah,
Absols. I think they're the easy best team.
Yeah.
Not named the Plumes, obviously, but they're the easy best team.
Mhm.
you
They
think
have a lot
so?
of depth in their gens.
hmm
I feel like one. I'm just trying to count who I think so. One, two,
I'll put it this way: when your weakest
three.
slot is Gondra, you're in a pretty nice spot, all things considered.
Yeah, I
Truth is
think their
though, I
weakest slot is SV though,
I was
not
looking at Pastures
Gondra.
yeah.
specifically, but yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I think this is gonna come down to a 6-4. I don't think this is a blowout by any means. Maybe a 5-5.
hmm
I just kind of go through it. I think that
Yeah.
Absols probably take 2 or 3 in SV. I don't think they beat OBB. Ziri LPZ. I mean, who knows? LPZ could win. Ziri could win. Like SM is always a toss up. I always pick Quiz. Finch is probably like black white, especially with that luck. And then like ADV, I don't know. Media is the better player, I think, right?
I don't know who Gold Mason is, so by default, I'm gonna say Medea
Yeah,
wins.
same. And then Avarice and Monai are both good players who have knowledge in the tier. Like, I think that number one with
There's some
Sunspot NUPL this year, every team's pretty competitive. Even the Brazilian army. Um, I think this is a toss up, man. I don't know. The more I think about it, I'm
I would
calling a
still give the
5-5.
edge to the Absols.
Nah, I believe in the Oathkeeper magic of the Talon Flames.
I actually think I say
Oh,
the Talons win this matchup. As I look at it,
Yeah, right.
I think it's 6-4 Talons. Because I
I could
think
really go
Stresh
either way.
wins. I'd say Stresh, Tier, and then T Nunez for the Absols. I think Elias beats Mata. I think OBB wins, and that's already 4-1. I'd say probably Siri, Cusial, then Finch. And then I think I'd say Monai beats Avarice, and then Medea beats Gold Mason, so it'd be 6-4.
Hmm. Yeah, but a lot of those matchups could easily go either way,
That's
and
the
then
thing, yeah.
cool.
They're pretty even, so I don't it's not like a strong 6-4, but that's kind of where I'm leaning right now, just the moment.
I feel very confident in Stresh against Drud. And
Same.
then the rest are
Yeah,
pretty
Drud's play last week was really
even.
not great.
Yeah, and Stresh is just super decorated on the website.
hmm
They both
That's
lost
true.
last week, though. I mean, obviously Drud can win, not counting him out, but Stresh is just fresh, bro.
It's
All right,
so
what do you
hard to
think about?
evaluate him after week 1 too, because the loss was pure. It was just timer,
Yeah, it was timer stuff.
and I think he
Yeah.
played well before that happened. So
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about the Dances Are Forever in the MF Plume series?
Keo Wadley is a really fun matchup.
That is a fun matchup.
I think that's two really experimentative players going head to head. So I'm just immediately
It is.
intrigued to see what both people bring.
What
The way
about
Wadley
in the
won
lower
last
tiers?
Yeah, Wadley won last week,
Yeah,
so they're
Wadley
both
won
one
last
and zero
week.
right now.
clear amulet, scale shot crook.
That was
Yeah,
an
he brought a cool
insane
team.
set.
Lower, it's probably SS, which is still kind of current, but Master Chief Swine Up fan, really good. I mean, Ishtar, Evi, there's a lot of good ones.
I'm not so.
Hey,
Just
sub
I don't know.
C.
The SS game is going to be weird. I just like TC a lot, but he brings like weird stuff. I feel like which is the best game down here in the lower tiers?
I think
Ishtar,
it's
Evie.
easily ADV.
ADV.
ADV's
Oh,
good. I
Hasep
just don't know
C.
much about
Yeah, for
ADV.
sure. Hasep C is going to be a great game.
And
You
again,
have two great
C in the
players.
last NUPL went undefeated. Haysup's
Yeah,
always been one of the stronger players in the pool. He almost always goes at least one game above 500 from what I've
I
seen.
think he's always rated first.
Not
I
always
think.
Wasn't
first,
he
but he's
rated
pretty much
first
always
for
top 3.
PRs?
Yeah,
Wasn't it Haste up first? Yeah.
yeah, I think Hasup's first. I mean, that's going to be a great game. You have two players who know the tier
Haysup
well, who are
first
really
in
good at
this
the tier. Like,
pool?
that's for sure the highlight of that week. Who do you think
Uh,
wins the whole? The whole.
I wouldn't rate Haysup
I
first
mean,
in this pool personally, but he is
we're
top
both on the
4.
Plumes
Oh,
slice,
you guys are
so
both on the plumes.
Yeah,
Okay, hold on.
so
I can
in
be
my
I can be
unbiased
objective.
opinion, I think we're winning 10-0. What about you, Doc?
I would be
I think a
inclined to
swift
agree.
10-0 is pretty fair.
All right, my turn
I think you
to
can just
talk
pencil that
trash.
in.
I think I'm gonna take the dances here.
All right, so next matchup we have the Snorlaxes versus the Foxes.
They didn't even let me insult everybody. Come on. Okay, yeah.
Insult everyone. I want to hear this. This is like the Tom Brady
No,
roast,
you
but for the
It
MF
my
is.
Plumes.
I think I'm just like skeptical of for both teams. Honestly, I'm skeptical of like how SV is gonna go. I think that like the lower tiers are much more like established players in those tiers, and like the MF
Mhm.
Plume strategy was kind of take mainers who are really into it, right? Obviously, I didn't realize that the Doc had such a great record, but like obviously Wadley's coming off a circuit tour win. Ski's just like really good support. Shengineer is unproven, but you guys dropped what was it, 14.5K? Um, and like I
Aura.
think the Dancy's like SV core right now is also it's like good, but not like it doesn't like blow me off my feet. Which kind of makes me think that like SV can really go either way. I just don't know. Is it going to be like the mainers and like the unproven players, or is it just going to be like the more established kind of just like tour head types? I really don't know what's going to happen there. I think it'll be good series though.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, Skier
but I think
plays
that
tonight too.
He
Plays in
does. He
8
plays
hours.
soon,
oh yeah
right?
yeah yeah because he's like out like in the later half of the
6
week.
p.m. -7. 6 p.m.
Whatever.
Oh,
-7.
it's that late? I thought he played a lot earlier.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
calling my shot. He's facing Sun.
All right, well, I'll tell Skier to prep for Sun then. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Um, I think that was like the issue. The issue I had with the Plumes draft this year. It just felt like good but not great.
Fox's
But we'll see.
Snorlax is now there's for past gens 2 insane highlight matches, Laxwatashi and FV Ima. Like that
Ooh,
is top of the
Are
pool versus
insane.
top of the pool for each side of that.
well, that's gonna be fun. And then in
Also,
SV
Roxy's
GXC stories. Ooh.
in black white after running Sun last week.
Well, I think we know Roxy's bringing
Interesting
Sun
lineup
again then.
change.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder why. The stories gets moved to SV.
Maybe
Probably
just
to
wanted to
revenge
play
Danny.
SV, I don't know.
um, this should be a really fun series. I have no clue how this is gonna go. This is just a lot of really cool players.
I think GXC Stories has to be the highlight for their SV.
Yeah,
But
for
Nah, I
sure.
like Floss Frieza as far as
that's
evenness, and probably, that's probably the best one that
Maybe.
I'd want to watch. I mean, Twinkie Kushalos, Twinkie brought Wakan Slowbro and Eject Pack
Oh
Flygon
yeah,
last
it,
week.
that was that
if I
game.
speak, I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's a
get in
low level.
trouble. If I
That's
speak, I will
that's
get
a
Yeah,
in
low level
so
trouble.
game for sure. Yeah, that was an
obviously
awful game. Oh my god.
GXE stud. Not much else to say there.
Yeah.
And Phantom
Destroyed Danny.
Franklin.
I think it's probably going
I think
Franklin.
Franklin's just better, but it could be good. And then Floss Frieza, that's gonna be really good. I rate them about similarly. Frieza is definitely much more creative building.
Here's
So
the thing with Frieza also. I mean, like I spent time building with him for SCL. I don't know how invested he's gonna be. Like if he's invested and he's building, it'll be something wacky and creative. But chances are it's probably gonna be like a phantom offense, which is, the type of stuff that's right up his alley too. And will be creative also. So I don't know if I would factor his building creativity into it.
he brought Sun week 1 with Pommet. Pommet.
So, oh boy, what a game! What a game!
I think this is a match where I honestly come down to having it at a tie. It's like I think SV, the Foxes probably take 3 out of 4 of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Passions, I do favor a little more of the Snorlaxes. Like Watashi lacks is a toss up, as is Ima a V, in my view. But I think Mana Mini probably beats CERN. I think Roxy probably beats Tack.
What do you think are the flip matches? The ones that can go either way.
SM and
There's
ABV.
a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of looking at it. I mean, my count, I have 3 SV going to the Foxes. I have SS going to the Foxes for sure. Which already gives them 4-1,
Mm-hmm.
kind of going into the lower tiers, in my mind. And then DPP could go any way. I have no clue. It's a DPP, but like in my head, it's going to be a struggle for the Snorlaxes to secure the win. I'm going to go with the Foxes.
Yeah. I actually think SV is gonna get split 2-2, but I think the Fox's old gens are just more stable. They're just better, more proven, you know.
Yeah.
I think that holds weight.
All right, now for the best series of
So
the
the
entire
Vivillons are
week.
losing 10-0.
Yeah.
Um.
So
There's
they
some
looked
good
really
matches.
well.
Yeah,
I don't really
Toother
know if
looks a
there's
little OP.
Toother. Yeah, bro, 9K. Just remember that.
The Tooth.
Just remember, I really like our team. Our team's really good. They're fun people.
I think
I
ZS
feel like,
and Kimmy is really good.
yeah, I mean, if
After
Kimmy
what
plays
Kimmy
the
did
way they
last
played
week.
last week, yeah, they played great. I think lower tier E-tournaments for sure has to be the highlight.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
even debatable. I think my matchup's going to be really good. TDMT is a good player, played really well last week. They brought my team, so I like them. I just think that's going to be a fun game, assuming I prep, because I did not prep last week at all. So I think the Vivs take a 10-0 though.
Yeah.
No. No.
I don't know. I think the Brazilian army, I think they're cooking.
They are.
So
Did they win last
I
week?
think it's oh.
I
I
didn't
don't think
look
they
at
did.
who won.
Who did they play?
I don't know.
They
Let me
played the
check.
Diancies.
I think it was a
Who won?
tie then. I think it was 5-5.
I think it was a tie, yeah.
Vivs and Absols were
Oh,
the
was
only
it tie?
teams to win.
Yeah, it was a tie then.
I think we're counting them out a little bit too much. I think their team is pretty good.
Their team has the
No,
most
their team is
immaculate
good.
vibes out of any team.
They tied, and that was with Mincemeat losing. So
I think with
right,
their
ish.
I think we underrate them because they're probably the worst team, but like every team's really good, you know?
Hmm.
And like they're a bit memey, but like I don't know. Maybe they could have spent more money. Maybe they could have got T Nunez and made everything, more what would be the right word? Um, respectable,
Stable, I guess.
maybe.
30K T Nunez.
That's a crazy drop.
SV, I
Should be a
could
fun
see either
series.
going split or being like pretty quickly 3-1 Vivs. I think Lilo's the only one I favor for sure for the Cubones.
Willie
I
was a
think I
really
favor
good
all.
player, though.
Yeah.
I think I
I think,
favor all 4 for the Vivs, but I just think one upset is bound to happen because it's
yeah, for
ones.
sure.
So
There's
I
gonna be
would
Mhm.
say
one
3-1.
person's gonna bring a son, and they're gonna win for sure.
Someone's gonna cook up Scovillain.
And it's gonna be
Yeah, no,
VNDREVC. This guy I've never heard of before. He's gonna load up. He's
bro.
gonna load up Sun
Joined
with a Magby, and it's gonna
joined
destroy
October
Danny.
15th, 2023. Yeah, Danny's screwed. He's done, man. Danny had no chance.
And I guess I could
I think
favor
that'd be a
Slice
fun
and
one.
SS.
You could if
I
you want
favor
to.
Eternally always an SM just because he's the probably one of the only players actively building SM every week still.
Should I tell you if he is right now? No, actually, I'm not gonna
I
say
probably
anything.
already know the answer to it.
What's E-turn
No, I think
bringing? Z-move Kingpy plus or Z-move Whimsicott plus Kingpy?
probably a dread fee with something else that loses to Mega Obama stuff.
Dreadfee has an Incineroar on it. It doesn't even lose to Mega Obama.
It does.
Yeah, true.
No.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Y'all are just
Comfy's way
haters.
too broken.
Here's the thing, though. Drudfy has scarred the entire SM player base to such an insane degree that I'm pretty sure Eternally doesn't even have to bring it anymore and just can
Yeah,
let people C-team it for no reason.
I keep telling him to prep for that, but no, he's committed to the grind.
What, of using Drudfy?
Yeah, or just using the same style team. Nobody can beat him with it, so it doesn't matter.
Nobody can beat E-Turn. He's having a great run, bro.
I think
He's
are we
classic.
favored in every slot this week? I think we might be.
No, I think Ruhr was favored
Yeah.
in black white.
Oh, maybe Ruhr and Black White.
I'd say Black
But
White is a Cubone favored. ADV, you could not pay me enough money to give you a favorite in that matchup.
but Parpar's legit, man. Parpar
I
played really well
I
last
just
week
don't know
too.
anything about Parpar is the problem.
I'll
I
tell you all you
played
need
him
to
in one
know.
of the individuals. He's good.
All you need to know about Parpar is that this guy does extremely well in like every individual and tour that he's in. Was around for a while in the tier, and somehow goes like undrafted or for 3K every tour and falls under the radar. It makes no sense. He's
Yeah.
really good, and he's a good teammate too. He's a sweet guy. I like him.
Well, I
So
think
I favor him. And he played really well last week. Did you watch that game or no?
no.
We
I
have
like
a
actively haven't
also
watched any ADV.
we have
Also,
eradicate.
SS ENT is favored heavily.
Heavily.
I agree.
If I was his opponent, I wouldn't even show up to the match.
Yeah, I would
Well,
just.
how do you factor in Pokeslice's famous luck and plot armor into the matchup though?
Hasn't Shinjineer taken all of it from you?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Didn't you miss
Don't be
Hurricane
funny.
last week? You're not Pokeslice.
I did miss a hurricane. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
who are you?
Yeah, but think about it like
Did
this:
you
my
get
entire
burned on the
team
first
hacks,
call?
but my entire team hacks everybody.
Oh, so you're just the fall guy. Okay.
I've given out the plot armor to everybody else.
Oh no.
Whatever, it's coming. There'll be a game soon where I dodge like 3 stone edges in a row to win.
Bad
It's bound to
guy.
happen. It's happened every tour.
Well, I hope all y'all watched and enjoyed this wonderful rant of ours on
It's a good way to
NUPL and the
describe
current
it.
NU meta. Any closing thoughts before I end the recording?
Ban Scovillain,
Okay.
ban Slowbro,
Alrighty.
ban Savali Ground, ban
Hmm.
Vileplume,
Oh,
and
okay.
ban Scrafty.
Oh,
And
okay.
what else did I ban? Oh, ban Comfy.
No,
Um,
no, no.
yeah, definitely ban Comfy. And then when we
Dog
ban
water
Comfy, ban
take. Get
Scrafty
that
too.
out of my ear. Alright, I hope all y'all enjoyed. This guy needs to. The mic is unplugged. Thanks for watching. And we'll catch you next week, presumably. Take care.